Thank you so much. It is great pleasure to let you know about this woman who I am about to introduce. Rita Wright is from Hempstead, Long Island, and wrote her first poem in the sixth grade. She moved to Key West, Florida in 1997 to become a published author. She brought with her several manuscripts, but was never able to focus until the day she walked into Poet Laureate Flower Conroy's free poetry class at the Lightberry in March of 2017. At the reading of her first poem entitled The Bread Guy, Flower and the class were blown away, and there Arita was reborn. Her poems from that class were published in an anthology by Flower entitled Poems in the Palm Garden. At that book signing, Arita stepped into her destiny, and with Flower's help in getting an Anne McGee grant, is now living the dream of being a published author of the book, Then Sings My Soul. Everyone, I know you're muted, so if you just can clap right where you are, let's give a round of applause to Miss Arita Wright, the author of Then Sings My Soul.
Thank you, Pastor. Thank you, everyone, for coming to the virtual book signing of Then Sings My Soul. Then Sings My Soul. Did y'all hear Sandy Patty? Y'all just got to know that is where the title of the book comes from. And I wanted y'all to see, like the power of that video. Like, I just was so moved, and I would just fall out in tears every time. And that's when the title hit me, Then Sings My Soul. So the way she was expressing, like, that's exactly what's happening from writing the book and from all that has happened since the book has come out. It's amazing. I'm going to read a passage right now from the day that I was inspired from the pastor. My pastor got in the pulpit, y'all, and made this declaration. So from Then Sings My Soul, October 31st. A man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. Proverbs 18:16. When my poems were first published in the anthology Poetry in the Palm Garden, my pastor, Reverend Rochelle Pearson, announced from her pulpit to the congregation, "You better go get this book now." And she held it up too. She held up the book. She told to the congregation, "You better go get this book now, because when she blows up, it may be difficult to catch up with her." I'm paraphrasing, but since she said that, miracle after miracle has been happening with my writing career. It has something to do with the reception I received in the writing community here in Key West. They're very supportive, and they really cheer me on. They invite me to events to read poetry, and at times it is really overwhelming in a very good way. They make room for me, and I am forever grateful. Today, I am truly grateful for my gift, and I ask God to use it to glorify Him. So that was from the day that the pastor did that. I came and I journaled it. Remember now, some of y'all know, this was a journal. Here's the journal. This book started as this journal. It says on the bottom, life is a journey, not a destination. The woman who gave it to me is Simone Pierre. She was a life coach who took me through several free life coaching classes. God just had her in Key West for me. I always say He brought her here for me because I had a problem with God and I had a problem with writing. And through her ministry is called Armed by God. Through her ministry, I was able to free that gift. And I just want to introduce you to her and see if Simone would like to say anything about this. Simone.
Oh, Rita, I am so excited. I'll say Arita was one of the first people that I met when I moved to Key West, and we really just clicked. And I have the opportunity to bring people in for coaching, and I just knew God put it on my heart to invite her. And she's such a great client that I had other opportunities, and he would ask her. And so I watched her go from having like a regular life thing that she wanted to bring to the coaching, and it in the first session with my students, like that turned to her relationship with God. And it was life changing. And then I live on the second floor, and she hauled up this big old giant suitcase of writing to my deck, and we sat out on the deck and went through manuscripts, notebooks, just all kinds of photographs, newsletters, and my witnessing then was to really see this lifelong dream of hers come to life. She took it out of the dusty old suitcase and said, this is what I'm going to do. And it probably brings as much tears to my eyes as it does to her, because then sings my soul to see her soul singing. And I am so blessed to have been a part of your journey in this, Arita. So thank you for allowing me to serve you.
Thank you, Simone. So from this journal, her journal that she gave me and Flower, after our poetry class, this was the third poetry class that I'd been through with Flower. We were sitting and having lunch after her class, and I said, well, I'm almost finished writing this book. I wasn't talking about a book. I was talking about the journal. Flower says, well, we gotta go get a grant. We gotta go get it. I said, what grant? She said, the grant from Anne McKee, the one that we published the book from the poems. I was like, no, it's not that kind of book. It's not that. It's not like that. She said, no, you go home today and you pull up all of the application for the Anne McKee. I did. I came home. I pulled it up every day for 5 days. I looked at it. I close the computer for 5 days. Finally, I sent Flower a note saying, I can't do it. I don't know the answers. I don't want to do this. She sent back, I will help you. And from there, she sent an email with all of the things I needed to plug in to get that grant. And I'll now give you my mentor, my teacher, the woman who took me under her wing, the woman who believed in me when I could fly, when I didn't believe I could fly. I'm gonna let y'all hear Flower. Flower Conroy, Poet Laureate.
Can you all hear me? My thing. Oh.
Where is she?
I could just hear her. She's off mute, but it sounds like maybe her signal is a little off.
Okay. Yeah?
Hi, Flower.
Oh, she froze.
Well, we see her now at least. Flower, come back to us. Come back. Come on, Zoom. Zoom. The Zoom guys, please let Flower talk. Okay, I guess she's gonna come back in. I don't know. All right. Well, Vidal couldn't make it either, y'all. I posted that Vidal would come on. Vidal texted me. He had to work. So that was a disappointment, but y'all did get to see on my Facebook page the beautiful pictures that Vidal took. Beautiful, beautiful. And he took me to the grotto. The grotto here in Key West is at St. Mary's. The big St. Mary's on the corner of Truman, which is a beautiful Catholic church that has a beautiful grotto that when the hurricanes come, everybody goes down there and prays. It's a very sacred space. And Vidal, he just took me to that very sacred place, and it was beautiful. And I'm going to read, since he's not here, this is what I chose to read about Vidal. January 15th, soul elevation. Here's the thing. You toil in a certain position for a time. All the while, you may aspire to reach for your hopes and dreams. You stay focused, you keep your eyes on the prize, and then one day you open your eyes and you are there. It's amazing. It's the life you've always envisioned. The soul is my inner GPS, always guiding me to reach my highest good and always leading me to a place where my position is equal to my divine calling. Today, I will listen to the direction of the still small voice within that elevates me out of the pit of despair I fall in. So that's what I wanted to dedicate to Vidal. Did Flower get back in? What's she saying? She sent a message.
She said, my computer is freezing. I'm so sorry. My screen is blacked out. But I do see she's back.
Hi, this is Khadija.
Hey, Khadija.
I'm sorry, I just got in from New Jersey.
Welcome.
Oh my God, I was so mad. I'm trying to get back to I'm in my daughter's house. And I said, I gotta get some internet on here. I gotta talk to my girl. Like your hair, it looks nice.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
Thank you, Khadija.
You know I had to touch base with you, girl.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I'm spending the night at my daughter's house. We just came from a safari in New Jersey. In the car safari. In the car safari.
Okay, we're trying to see if Flower can get back on. I see her.
Okay.
Can you say anything, Flower?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I had pulled it up on my phone. I don't know what happened with the computer. I saw you. Everything was teed up. I was all excited, and then everything like just went away, and I was like, "Oh my God!" All right. So I am so sorry for that. I caught some of what you said, but I just want to say, you know, you said a lot of very nice things about me, and I appreciate that. But you are the blessing in my life, and I want to make sure that that's clear. I can see me on my computer. You have been so important to me in teaching me how to help other poets, how to help myself, how to write, how to. I think am I getting an echo now?
Yes, you got echo now.
All right. Am I getting echo now?
Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
There, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, I see you. All right, so thank you so much for
Boy, can you hear me? I got your thank you
inviting me
card.
to
Thank
call.
you.
And sorry.
Go ahead, Flower.
Honored this.
Flower, I can't believe this. What is happening? Oh my goodness.
You know, my heart sings. Not going.
Say something.
Try turning your video off, Flower, so that it's just audio.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know how to get this off. Let me turn off the computer. I don't know how to get this off. All right. How's that?
That's good.
Oh my gosh. All right. I am so sorry. Everything was fine until I had to do something. I feel bad. I don't know if you heard how much I was singing your praises and telling the world how much you have been such a blessing in my life. You may say these fabulous things about me, but the truth is I'm lucky to know you. You have taught me how to help others in ways I couldn't imagine. You've inspired me. I am so honored to be on this journey with you, celebrating this achievement that you know, you had it in you. Of course you had it in you. And maybe I pointed you in the right direction, but I mean, you of course were going to achieve this, and you're going to achieve even more. So I just want to thank you for including me on your journey. It's a blessing to know you, and I'm so excited for you, and I'm so thrilled, and I want to hear you. So I'm going to say thank you, and I love you.
Thank you, Flower. I love you too. Okay, so this is Flower's favorite part of the book. It's actually in the back where she wrote a review. This is her favorite, January 6th, Psalm 40, verse 3. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. I marched to a new tune today. The experience is just like an orchestra when it's about to perform. Each section comes in and warms up. At first, the violin sounds squeaky. The cellos seem to groan. The cymbals seem off timing. The flutes seem to hit distant notes. But after this prep time, the conductor comes and stands front and center and directs this myriad of instruments into a blended crescendo of power that transmit through the roof to the cosmos. The conductor does all this with the wave of a wand. The orchestra members watching the wand follow. So I must be in tune with my soul as conductor. It is aware of my longing for this type of harmony in my life. Harmony starts in me first, it extends out to my community, and then it reaches out to the world. Today, I might not like the process of divine tuning. However, it is necessary to produce the great song that is within me. And that was January 6th. And so since we're talking about songs, the beautiful design here, you can see, was made by Darlene Viola. She came on board of the project when I had a demon attack me, literally attack me. He attacked me. It was very bad, very bad. He was a graphic artist that I knew from the rooms and from NA. He'd done a lot of work for us in the past for different conventions. And I'm crying on the phone to Oma how he cursed me out. He cursed me from pillar to post. I'm crying to Oma. And Oma says, why don't you call Darlene? She did our t-shirt. She did your t-shirts at your reunion. Call Darlene. So I did. I called Darlene. I told her what I wanted. And Darlene came up with this awesome design with the beautiful G clef. I'm gonna let Darlene just say a little bit about that. Go ahead, Darlene. Unmute yourself.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'm Darlene. And, you know, what a pleasure and how honored I feel to have worked on this project. You know, just out of the blue, that's how I hear from Arita, just out of the blue from time to time, you know, and here she is with this project, this book, and she sends me all these pictures, a picture of the journal and a picture of a scarf and a picture of this and I'm like, holy smokes, what am I don't know what she's talking about. And all the colors and all, and, you know, and we went back and forth on the phone through text and emails and, but we did a lot of phone time, you know, and and I didn't create this. We created this together. You know, when she finally made her wishes known to me, you know, I was able to see and put forth just, you know, what she wanted. And, you know, it was a really and truly wonderful experience because, you know, at my training in school, you know, I learned how to do all of this stuff, but my career went in a different way, and that was silkscreen design. So that's what I do now is the t-shirts and that. But to let my soul sing just a little bit, I got to create something for my wonderful friend, you know, and that was the part of this important project, you know, and this book cover, you know, and it was really my joy to do this and to work with you, Arita. I mean, you know, we worked really hard for a really long time, you know, and when it all came together, and when I got to order the very first book, I was so excited, you know, and I was so excited when it came, and you know, to actually see it come to fruition, you know, it truly makes my heart happy to have been involved in this project. And I see, you know, you have so many people that love and adore you, as I do, you know, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that we pulled it off. You know, so thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me, and the best to this new journey for you.
Thank you, Darlene. I love you so much. So as y'all can see, every piece of this journey to this book was spiritual, and God had his hand in all of it. And I didn't read Simone's entry. So here's Simone's entry in the book, Then Sings My Soul. It's April 20th. Embracing my majesty. Well, at first it sounded lofty and unattainable, yet intriguing and wondrous at the same time. It is the trademark saying of life coach Simone Peer. Through her masterful teachings, I began to examine, what is my majesty? Then sings my soul. Majesty is operating from my highest self. It is an acknowledgement of my greatness in spite of all my stupid mistakes. It is recognition of my ancestry, my bloodline, my DNA, where I come from, my divine origin, and more. I can trust it even though it's like walking in a foreign country. I have to learn the language, which means getting out of my comfort zone. It means taking risks and thinking outside the box. And yes, sometimes those risks don't pan out and I fall flat on my face. But operating from a place of majesty requires me to get up, adjust my crown, and keep on walking, even if I can't see what the next step will bring. Today, my majesty is the queendom that I've carefully carved out for myself. My throne is constantly threatened, but there is peace and safety in exploring the unknown territory of my soul. And the people's faces that I'm looking at, some of them are in the book as well. Sayings that Kim gave me, Lisa gave me, just sisters that are on here that have been in my life that have shared. Valerie, my cousin Val is here. Hey, Val. Val gave me a beautiful passage in here. I just want to share with you all my love, because the book is a love letter from God, and it's God's love letter to me. And I didn't want to write a lot of things in it because it's very personal. Like I said, it's a journal. A journal, you write your personal things, your ups and downs, your faults, your failures, your successes, and there God is talking about, I want this to be a book. And he would say, I just want y'all to know the experience of sitting still. I call it soul singing, sitting still, and allowing the divine voice to speak, and then writing whatever it is that comes, was just like what I think the prophets must have went through back in the days of Jeremiah. And when you think of his prophets that were writing back then, and they would write what God would say, Daniel and other ones, other prophets. It was just like that. It was sitting and listening and allowing the voice to say whatever it was. And I would say, no, God, I don't want that in. And he would say, no, that's going in. That's going in. And I would have to put it in. And so we would go back and forth, but he always won. So some of the things are very personal. Some of the things I didn't want people to know. But then Tom sent me a text saying that he wanted, Tom was on here, I saw him for a minute, he might have had to go to a meeting. Tom ordered the book and then sent me a text saying, does this come in bulk? And I'm like, bulk? What is that? And he was like, well, I run a rehab here in North Carolina, and I've been giving out the book, Day at a Time book. He called it a devotional, because a devotional to women that are newly in recovery, and he was giving them Jesus calls. And then he asked me if he could give out my book. I said, my book? He said, yeah, yours deals with recovery. They're in recovery. They're young girls in recovery. So I called the pastor. I'm like, Pastor! And she told me, and we talked, and I was able to get back to Tom, and my publisher had just dropped off 30 books here on the couch. He had just dropped them off. I said, Tom, you can have these 30 right here. They're all in the box, ready to go. And before I knew it, that box was on its way down to North Carolina, and the money was put in my account. And I don't know what the name of the rehab is, but I bless those women that are receiving the books. And maybe that is why God said, put this in, put that in. Obviously, some of them must have these issues that are in the book. And at some point, I do want to have an extended talk about the issues that are in the book: codependency, alcoholism, parents issues, drinking, drugging, incest, sexual assault, and then soul singing. After all of that, and then soul singing. So at some point, you all might be receiving something that says, Arita's doing a virtual workshop, I don't know, on something. I don't know, you might. I'll see what God has to say. I'll check in with the boss, since I work for him now. So with that, I'm gonna allow question and answers about the process. So the floor is now open for questions and answers.
Everybody is on mute. So if you want to ask a question or say something, you'll have to take yourself off mute, or if you raise your hand, I'll keep my eye out and pull you off mute. But so I see Kim and Veronica have come off mute. So how about one of the two of you?
Rita, it's Richard.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, sweetie. I had a mild relapse with the virus, so I'm just being safe.
Okay.
I want you to know I love you and respect and honor you. And the powerful thing about it is we only had 30 years ago brief encounters, and talking about a vibration that carries for 30 years. So spirit speaks to spirit. You know, it is, I talk to the Mother, Father, God in the universe all the time. And I needed to say, because I'm about to go back into my quarantine, but I had to come out, tell you that I love you and thank you. Thank you for 30 years ago that allowed me to be here today.
Thanks, Richard.
Okay, I can go while the mic is up. And man, I am so overwhelmed right now, Ree. I'm sitting here and I'm looking at these beautiful faces. I'm hearing, okay, Richard's going, I can take my mask off. I'm hearing the other side, like through the birthing, like hearing you, and you're now I'm able to put a face with the names. I'm able to see the parts of your journey that we've talked about and talked and cried about and listened to your pastor and flower. And I'm like, and I'm looking at her face and I'm like, oh my God, her name be fitting. And so I have not called you since I received my book.
No, you
And I
haven't.
want you to know that this book, when I opened this book and I sang this song, I was floored. So I was taught by you to read a book from cover to cover. And so I had to open each page. And then, I mean, I read all of the printing dates and everything. And then I get to How Great Thou Art. And you wrote something especially for me. And I just want you to know how proud I am of you, just to know you. And I know we love on each other all the time. But I don't want you to forget where you came from when you blow up, girl. I'm going with you. You know, we all like these Simone and Oma's on here, and I get to see people that some of you all I've met, and some of you all we're meeting for the first time. But I thank you because everything that you all pour into a reader, I get the benefit of in one form or another. Either she's gonna call me and say, honey, and when she says honey, I know I totally messed up. But she loves me through everything. And so if I may I read the page, December 20th?
Yes, Kim, read your page, honey.
Okay. I have a page. And I didn't know where to begin. This is a book I wanted to start at the beginning and go all the way through, but I received the book in July. So I had a dilemma. So I began to go back a few pages. You know, when I read the Bible, and I know this is spiritual, I usually go back a couple of passages and then forward, you know, to get to the meat. And I just didn't know where to start. So I started somewhere in July, and I'm reading just briefly from December 20th. And it says, we no longer have to suffer from the limitations of our own mind. Kimberly Lewis. And I stated before that I had a long relationship with suffering. It was as natural as breathing for me to suffer. It was a way of life. In my new life, healed from depression, it is a constant challenge to not allow negative thinking or negative situations keep me from experiencing the joy of living the life that God wants me to live. As I continue to reprogram my thinking, I find that being grateful for what is good is a huge tool for being able to see the glass half full rather than half empty. Today, the joy of living does not have to be interrupted because something disappointing has happened or something is not going my way. I can deliberately choose to continue enjoying the moment and focus on the good. And I just want you to know, all of you, I mean, this is about Rita and the book, but each of you on here played a part, even if that part is just showing up here today. You know, and there's a sisterhood and there's a spirit. There is a spirit attached to this book that I felt, not just when I opened the envelope, but when I opened the book, I could feel the Spirit of God in this book. And I pray for you all. I pour out love to you all. And I'm almost speechless, which Rita will tell you that doesn't happen too often. But go be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. I love you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pat, and Rita, wow. I can only say wow. You know, I met you 40 years ago, and seeing you now as an author, you've come a long way. You've come a long way. You was that little girl, and you have blossomed into such a wonderful, wonderful woman, you know. I've got to leave because I've got to go and rush to the hospital to see my daughter-in-law because she had an accident. But I am so very proud of you. And you will be hearing from me more than likely Monday. Okay? Take care.
Okay, Pat. Love you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Just thank you for everything.
I would like to say something if that's okay.
Of course, Dawn.
I have Rita at least 17 years. And I've known all the names that she by China and and we still call her China. She has so many names. That's the thing about Rita. She's reinvented herself. And with each new version, she upgrades who she is. She betters herself each time. It's like a new butterfly. She goes from this caterpillar to a butterfly to a caterpillar to a butterfly, like bigger, brighter, shinier, you know. And so I remember when she was doing retreats, she had I want to do retreats, and she did one, and you know, she gets these ideas, and they're so big for just like, you know, we live in Key West, but she has these ideas, and then she just takes the steps each time. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go. I'm going to try. And, you know, and it didn't matter. I don't remember because I think there were 2 retreats. I think maybe 3 people showed up the first time, 6, but it didn't matter how many people showed up. She did the retreat. And that was the thing. Like when she gets something in her mind, she follows through and brings it to not just to fruition, but to something. Never just, oh, Rita had a retreat. It's like everybody talks about it and says, what an amazing experience, what an amazing book. It wasn't like, you know, it was just her journal, but here it is. It's this amazing thing for all of us, and this ability to get to come together and share this spirit that she has brought through in everything she's done, that in the 17 years I've known her, right? And I mean, she's done parties and everything, every event, everything she does. And so each time she brings that spirit, but then when it's done, it's done. And now she's brought that spirit to something that we can have and then inspire us and to see the journey that she's come through, and you know, and to know it. I know many of you know the journey. I mean, we've all had our journeys, but to know that she's come through to be the example of just somebody who has constantly done the work to be the light, you know, constantly doing the work, whatever it takes to be the light. Maybe I'm dark today, but I'm going to do the work. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to do the work. And to just keep doing that is I'm just so grateful that you're in my life and to have been able to be a witness to and to share in so many of your wonderful experiences that you have allowed us to have. I love you.
I love you too, Dawn.
Hi,
Thanks
this
for
is
coming
Khadija.
on. Hi,
Khadija.
Khadija.
Oh, girl, don't let me sit here and start crying. 'Cause I'll start. When I met Arita, she taught me how to be a woman. Bubble baths. You remember you talking the candles? Oh my God. I didn't want to hear nothing about no bubble baths and candles. And I'm so grateful for you. And today, I'm 72 years young and I feel so good about myself only because you taught me how to be a woman. And with that book, woo, every page that I have read was me. I even cry on the phone with my sponsees. We cried together because of what you are teaching us. And your journey and everybody else's journey is in that book. We cry together. Oh my God, I just feel so, I got goosebumps right now.